Welcome to the Bible reading journey, where we are traveling from Genesis to Revelation in a year. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you are just joining us, welcome to the journey, and just jump in where we are, because it's never too late to start. Lighthouse Ministry is happy to be traveling this road with you. Today we are on day number 78 of the Bible reading journey. And today's reading itinerary is the book of 1 Samuel, chapters 16 through 19. And you might want to pause here and first dive into today's reading for yourself. Then join us back here for thoughts about today's journey. Today's journey is titled, David, the Secret King-Elect. And as usual, in your text notes is an outline of the book of 1 Samuel to guide us on our journey. Today we are on section 3A of the outline. In these chapters today, we read of the intertwining of the lives of Saul and David. We read of one of them declining and one of them rising. Let's point out a few things about David first. 1, he's chosen and anointed at a young age, long before his time to become king. And we read some words that allowed us to glimpse a bit more of our God. In chapter 16, verse 7. The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 2, we see how David is described. Dark, handsome, beautiful eyes. That's chapter 16, verse 12. Talented harp player, brave warrior, a man of war, has good judgment. The Lord is with him. That is chapter 16, verse 18. And in fact, the phrase, the Lord is with him, is throughout today's readings. We read in chapter 18, verse 14, he's successful in everything he does because the Lord is with him, and that he becomes famous. And that is in chapter 18, verse 30. Third, we read that he becomes Saul's armor bearer, warrior, commander, son-in-law, and murder target. And lastly, David is still known to this day widely for his faith and bravery in his fight and victory over Goliath, which is also in today's reading. All right, what do we see about Saul today? Well, first, he continued to decline. He's described as depressed, fearful, angry, jealous, a madman, and an attempted murderer. That's chapter 16, verse 14, chapter 18, verse 8 through 10, chapter 19, verse 1. We also read that Saul was afraid of David because he recognized that the Lord was with him. We see that in several places. Chapter 18, verse 12, verse 15, and verses 28 through 29. And that leads us to our last point about Saul. He recognizes that the Lord is with David, but instead of turning to God and teaming with David, he turned away from God and tried to kill David. So our thought of the day, like David, we have a choice how we respond to opposition. We can retaliate and grow bitter, which is probably our natural reaction. Or, like David, we can maintain an honorable attitude and blameless behavior in the face of persecution. And part of that thought of the day came from the Daily Walk Bible. The challenge of the day: think about the opposition or suffering in your life. Choose how you will respond. And ask God for help. The right choice is not an easy choice or the most natural choice. And meditate on the memory verse of the day, as it will help encourage you to make that right choice. It comes from Romans 12:17. This is the NIV translation. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. The text notes contain information on how to find us on YouTube, Facebook, and email. Happy travels today. See you next time. This is Lisa at Lighthouse. God bless.